Hello everyone and welcome back guys to a bit of a different video today, and a bit of an apology before we jump into this one. Apologies for no Azerbaijan Grand Prix last night. It will be going up later today after the IRL French Grand Prix, so obviously if you are new around here, make sure you do get yourself subscribed. But this one is a little bit different, and I know what you guys are already thinking by reading the title. The clickbait is having to come out, everything like that. Sort of, not at the same time, obviously. This was meant to be a last challenge driving as Pierre Gasly. Went quite well for the most part, and then sadly, as I'm sure you guys will see, went quite wrong very, very quickly. But I decided I'd upload this race anyway, as it was just quite interesting on the whole. You know, it was a wet to dry race, everything like that, something that we haven't seen on F1 2019 just yet. And obviously quite uncommon to get in a 25% race, generally speaking. So yeah, I thought it would be quite interesting to upload you guys and sort of have a look at the progression from wet to dry during a, you know, fairly sort of short race on the whole. And by the final lap, it was actually dry enough for the dry tyres as well. So hopefully, you know, you guys sort of enjoyed this video. Like I said, it was meant to be a bit of a French Grand Prix challenge. Unfortunately, things kind of went wrong towards the end, as like I said, you guys will see down the line in this video. But yeah, hopefully it is something still interesting sort of to watch on the channel. I know it's probably a bit strange, and I know some of you want me to go straight back to career mode and everything like that. But yeah, hopefully, you know, if you do go on to enjoy this video, make sure you smash that like button. Let me know down in the comments below, because obviously down the line, if I get sort of weird and wonderful races, it might be interesting to upload them anyway as well. But having a look then at the grid ready for this Grand Prix, you got Sebastian Vettel ahead of Lewis Hamilton on the front row of the grid there. Valtteri Bottas and Charles Leclerc make up row 2 just behind them. Then we've obviously got Max Verstappen, Kevin Magnussen there, obviously a name that we haven't seen because of career mode, Daniel Ricciardo, Hülkenberg, Perez, Grosjean, Sainz, Lance Stroll. Then we've got Raikkonen, Alexander Albon, Lando Norris, Danny Kvyat, and then towards the rear we've got Giovinazzi, Russell, Kubica, and myself, Pierre Gasly, starting at the rear of the field. But anyway, that has been the grid rundown. Let's jump on then into this race.
Keep your eyes open on the run to turn 1 and keep it clean. We want to come out in one piece. Good luck.
So as you can see then, yeah, a mixed condition race here. It's going to be some light drizzle throughout the first half, and then hopefully we can try and keep it nice and tidy in towards the dry period at the end. But the 5 lights are on then here at the French Grand Prix, and it is lights out, and away we go. They're trying to minimise the wheel spin of the start. Short shifting through the gears. They're still getting wheel spin up towards 6th gear there as we get a huge fishtail go right away across the track there. Luckily starting at the rear of the field, no one that could barrel into the side of us as we come in towards turn 1 there. Try to get around the outside of Robert Kubica's Williams there. We almost get stuck together actually through the corner as well, but we do hold on, and we now move ourselves up into P19 off the start. Straight to the outside we go in towards turn 2 and turn 3, just trying to, you know, find the space really. Just aim where the spray isn't is probably my best tactic in the rain on F1 2019, but you have to admit it does look absolutely incredible as well as we try to get around the outside of a few cars. Big moment on the exit of the corner, still fishtailing, trying to get the back end into line as we head onto the back straightaway there, and we do just about keep it pointing in the right direction in the end. But yeah, that was, what was that, P20 to P15 in just the first sector of this Grand Prix. We've got Danny Kvyat trying to have a sniff up the inside, but just that bit later on the brakes, hung it around the outside, and that now does mean that we hold on to P15. We're going to get a tremendous run though off the exit of the corner, almost. I think we did just run into the back of Carlos Sainz. So we actually get a warning for that one. Just phenomenal drive out through that corner there, around the outside of Raikkonen, a big fishtail once again there, and we have to, well, luckily the expansive runoff area around Paul Ricard definitely came into my favour this time around there. And yeah, we do hold on once again into P15 of this Grand Prix here. And yeah, just over these opening couple of laps, really trying to get to grips with the wet weather conditions. It was my first wet race on F1 2019 as well, and I often feel that the intermediate conditions can actually be a little bit more difficult than the full wets. This is sort of a weird area where full wets might still work, but I've always found, yeah, intermediate conditions, because you sort of get lulled into a false sense of security in terms of the grip, you can really struggle as well. But anyway, moving on though to lap 2, we did get up the inside of Sainz in towards the final couple of corners, and now we're going to try and hassle Kimi Raikkonen as we come in towards turn 1. Are we going to be able to make the move? What? Get the back end, snaps out once again, but Raikkonen through turn 2 does bail out, and that was us now up into P13. So a good successful opening lap of this Grand Prix. It wouldn't take us long before we were all over the rear of Alexander Albon there, as well as we try to head out onto the back straight there. And apologies for Elgato having a bit of a nightmare there as we come in towards the next couple of corners here. And the AI, this is still being run on 101 difficulty, what I've been running in my career mode, and the AI just seems really, really weak in these tricky conditions. I don't mean just obviously the midfield cars, I even mean sort of the top runners as well as we head onto lap 3 now, all over the back of Moneybag Stroll as we come in towards turn 1 and turn 2. They're trying to get the power nice and tidy, and just look at the run we're able to get. I know you guys have seen in career mode, just we can't do anything against the AI in the traction zones, but this time round, swoop round the outside of a Lancy Boy there, and that's now going to be us up into P11 of this Grand Prix. We'll try to close up to Roman Grosjean as well as we come through the next couple of corners. And yeah, this was another place where the AI just really, really seemed to have nothing over myself. It almost comes across like they tried to take a bit of a dry line and then get caught out on, you know, obviously the wetter tarmac, and unfortunately just can't get it snapped back in very well. It's a little bit strange at the end of the day there. But to the outside of Roman Grosjean there, once again we're going to try and swoop around the outside. He tries to give me the squeeze. No love lost between the barrels there. Better than Rich Energy, I think, is definitely the slogan we're going to be rolling with for this one. And now we're looking to try and shape up Hulkenberg and Sergio Perez as we come in towards the next couple of corners. Are we going to be able to make the move what we get out the inside of Hulkenberg there, trying to keep it nice and tidy, squeeze him out wide on the exit, and then diving it up the inside of Sergio Perez. And we do now move ourselves up into P8 of this Grand Prix as well here. Next up on the old hit list, Kevin Magnussen, and if this doesn't make me regret accidentally going with Grosjean as my teammate in career mode, I don't know what will, because, well, he's doing much, much better at this early stage of the race. I really do feel that Grosjean might be my weak link if I want to try and win the Constructors' Championship as well there. But up the inside of K-Mag as we come in towards the final couple of corners to finish off lap 3 of this Grand Prix. And next up is good old Danny Ricciardo here. You can see obviously the top of the midfield runners so far in this race. I'm sure Renault would love to see this in later on today's Grand Prix as well there. But just look at the drive once again there, and actually a bit of contact, and that is not what Renault want to see in the race today. As you can have a look from Daniel Ricciardo's point of view there, just nicked the front wheel there, and unfortunately nothing he could do. One of those horrible, almost like, you know, Seb's at Germany last year, where it's inevitable what's going to happen, but sadly you just can't save it in time there. And apologies to Danny Rick as well there, but it would take us all the way on to lap 7 before we were really able to pile on the pressure to anyone else. Obviously just trying to catch up to Max Verstappen, Charles Leclerc, Vettel, Bottas and Hamilton there. As you can see, there's a huge gap behind us. In towards turn 1 there we go, to the outside of my teammate Verstappen. Are we going to be able to make anything work? No, he locks up in front of me. I almost take him out. That has not been the ideal moment for the pair of us there. A bit of a tripping over each other on the exit of the corner there. But once again, we are now going to try and apply the pressure once more. Are we going to be able to make anything work? Not in towards turn 3 and turn 4 this time around. I must admit, I do love the boards around this track as well. It's a commentator's dream, I'll be honest, those around this place, because, well, at least from those of you that have watched a lot of my videos, you know, I basically spend a lot of time guessing the corner numbers as well. There's become out onto the back straight. A huge moment once again there. Really trying to keep the car pointed in the right direction there. Is now once again all over the back of Maxi Boy to the outside towards the end of the first half of the back straight. Pretty even on the brakes, but round the outside, swoop it and make it work. And that's now us up into P5. Wouldn't be long before we'd be all over the back of Charles Leclerc, Bottas and Sebastian Vettel, causing a little bit of a train in the latter stages of this Grand Prix as well there. It's just look at how much we're trying to fight the car. They get a little bit of a twitch on the exit of the corner there, and just sadly nothing we can really do against the Ferrari down the straights here. Are we going to be able to make anything work? Perhaps. We're sticking pretty close. Round the outside we go. And once again, that was definitely turning into my favourite overtaking place around this circuit. And, well, I mean, the French Grand Prix in career mode should hopefully be going live at some point this week. So we'll wait and see as to how it fares in that race as well. But now all over the back of Valtteri Bottas here as we come in towards the next couple of corners. Just the fishtailing everywhere. We dive it up the inside. Go for a very aggressive move there. Lock up the front ever so slightly. And we just run a little bit wide as well. Is he going to be able to make any sort of move work back? I don't think he is. And that is just now going to be us up into P3 of this Grand Prix. So going well so far. Really happy with the progress of this race. But sadly, on to lap 12 we go. And unfortunately, we would end up getting a puncture there. A common sight. I think, what's it I've done 5 proper videos on this game so far, and 3 of them I've ended up with a puncture. It is not a good, it's not a good statistic I've got going so far on this game, it's safe to say as well. But yeah, we would dive it into the pit lane. Sadly, the new pit lane for Paul Ricard hasn't been implemented into the game. I'm a little bit gutted by that as well. You know, we have still got the old pit lane as we go for a couple of pirouettes in towards the final couple of corners of the lap there. And yeah, sadly, obviously the race would get completely undone. I would take a bit of a gamble, go onto a set of the soft tyres for the final lap of this Grand Prix as well there. But yeah, through the final couple of corners we go. No new pit lane. This was a little bit weird. This definitely needs to be looked into as well. 23 miles an hour, and we get done for speeding in the pit lane. Not too sure. Codemasters, please have a look into that one. But yeah, we would then drive obviously back at the pit lane, and obviously at this point the race is over, so I was just going to see what the softs were like in the final lap of this Grand Prix. And safe to say they didn't really come into their own. We tried to lose as little dignity as possible, closing to the rear of Robert Kubica once again. But yeah, that was effectively the end of this Grand Prix for myself. The last of first, he was looking so good. We were having to P2 until, yeah, the tyres just couldn't quite make it right the way through to the end. I was tempted to restart and, you know, try and get the challenge done properly, but I also thought, like I said at the start of this video, this was a pretty interesting race for some of the wrong reasons, in all honesty. You know, just a little bit different, something a bit cool, and everything like that. And it certainly wasn't short of action either, so yeah, I hope you guys have sort of enjoyed this video. A little bit weird, I know, but yeah, really sort of wanted to showcase to you guys sort of a wet to dry race on F1 2019 as well there. But yeah, I will ride on board for the rest of this final lap. We pick up a 3-second time penalty there as well, not too sure. Just running a little bit wide, making a mistake as well. But yeah, can we close up for Robert Kubica in the final half a lap of this Grand Prix there? The tyres just working so well relative to the AI. I think this final lap, our PB was like a 46.9, even with the pit stop. We still ran like, I think it was like a 55 or something crazy like that, so we were gaining so much time in the second half of this lap. But look at that, just look at the run on Robert Kubica there. It's absolutely phenomenal there. Right around the outside we go in towards the final few corners of this Grand Prix. But yeah, I'll let it play out through to the end of this race. I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. Like I said, something a little bit different, something a little bit interesting. I hope, at the end of the day, Azerbaijan should hopefully be going live later on as well today. So obviously, if you have missed that, if you have sort of not been checking out that series so far, get yourself all caught up after watching this. And yeah, Azerbaijan round 4 should be out in just a few hours. But yeah, thank you all so much for watching this video. Get yourself subscribed if you're new around here. Hopefully you enjoyed, and I will see you in the next one.